A very good afternoon. So the last week, started discussing the this one, like the consumer behavior. We started discussing last week, and so far we have discussed the cultural factors. We have finished the cultural factors, and the social factors also. I think started social factors, which of course I can't remember. Social factors have been started. The rest of it is sorry, I'm wrong. I'm going to wrong it in my take a camera in the I'm going to take the things that the problem. Because it's free to share with other people. So, sorry, I was in the wrong place because so many badges in here for the other batch. Like, extension batch, which I would like to ask some message, especially for the ones those who are joining virtually. I would like to share my experience with the last extension batch because as I told you, as last extension batch, the ones those who were coming frequently, so they performed well. And the ones those who joined virtually and didn't participate, the performance was very weak. So therefore, even for you also, I'm telling, when you are coming, actively participate, and because so your brain basically works in the way that finance accommodates. So marketing is a totally opposite subject. Because most of your brain works with the left side. But for this one, you need the right side. So it's really hard for you to think in a way, but I'm explaining. So in case if you have some doubts, don't be quiet. You have to clarify whatever the points as the way it goes. Otherwise, at last, I'll be disappointed because there's no mark in the papers. If I feel like some students are having a very poor grade because recently I marked one paper. Even got one student 0. 0 out of 100. And he or she has written as well. He has written all 4 questions. But none of the question I can't give even one single mark. All out of school. So that means that student might have not come in the class at all. Because the questions or some of the questions that I have given in the class as tutorial questions, since I know that because every batch I know the level. So according to the level, I'm changing the scale of the paper. So I needed that batch. So the students' performance were not that good. So therefore, I took 3 questions exactly from the questions that I have discussed in the class. Nothing changed as it is. So the example might have changed. Even one question, I do the same example because in the class we discussed the customer pursuit value. Like we discussed, and I said that take any example and explain. At least if the student has attended that question in the class, as it is the copywriting, isn't it? Even that is wrong. So then, in fact, I tell these people, I want to speak to that student, how that student scores 0 out of 100. That's a question for me. So likewise, I'm telling you, don't make me disappointed because normally, the weekends, I also prefer to stay at home and also have some other commitments. But given the fact that I'm keeping all these things and some of the MBA lectures also I'm saying no because I say yes to this one. So then, ultimately, the self-satisfaction one I want is, I want that you have learned something out of me. And the previous exemption batch, that is for the history in my life, I think one student got 98 out of 100 from my paper. So that is, I'm really happy because that I can guess that probably there were some students who are really answering the questions in a way that I am expecting. So with the time, you will also improve up to that level. The only thing is, if you are here, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the time that you are going to take it, grab the subject, clarify, finish it off. Otherwise, it will be really hard for you to perform at the exam. So the last week, we started discussing the core marketing concepts, where whenever we want to understand the behavior of the customers, there should be certain concepts that we should be familiar. So that we discuss about the needs, wants, and demand. What is a need and what is a want and what is a demand. Also, we discuss about what is a product. It's something that a company offers, and that is coming in different versions. It could be a physical product, the information, it could be an idea, experience, or likewise, it's coming in different forms. Also, we discuss about the customer value. Customer value is something that we already discussed at the very first day. So, like the perceived value, that you are perceiving the benefits against the cost. So once you see more benefits, then you feel like you feel a particular value in it. Okay, that also we discussed. Then I discuss about the satisfaction. Like the satisfaction is a kind of a feeling that comes by comparing two things. One is like what you expected, and the other one is what you actually got. So what the performance, it really matters with your expectation, then you feel like, okay, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Then we discuss like how a particular company know whether your customer base is satisfied, so that we can use these techniques. We can have complaint and suggestion system, or else the customer satisfaction survey, lost customer analysis, or the cost shopping. So these are the ones that we explained. And now I'm going to another concept. Exchange and relationship. Exchange means what? What do you mean by the exchange? Exchange means you just take something and give something returned back. That is the meaning of exchange. Okay. So where you might have heard about those days barter system, where the weather people used to do. The weather people, like our ancient people, so they bring meat from the jungle, and they give those meats to the villagers people, and they take the rice in return. So that is the origin of exchange. So the idea is same. You give something, in return you take something. So then what's the difference between exchange or else like before that? For an exchange to happen, what are the conditions should be there? That you can simply guess the meaning, like the conditions through the meaning. Exchange is you give something, in return you take something else. For that to happen, what are the conditions should be there? Yeah. So the one thing is you can't buy force. So that means you have the freedom to accept or reject. That is one thing. Other than that, yeah, both parties should be happy. The same thing.
Both should be.
Both should be. Yeah, there should be two people. Otherwise, exchange won't touch anything. I said that two people, one gives something, in return takes something. So at least two people should be there. That's one condition. And there should be something to exchange, because I don't have anything to give. I may not initiate with exchange. That's the second condition. And the third condition is, it's okay, I can have something. There is a way that I have to tell you that I have this thing. So there should be a communication mode between you and me. So that's the third condition. There should be a way of communicating between these two parties. And the last one is like there is a freedom to accept or reject. That means both are happy. So those are the four conditions for an exchange to happen. So what is the first one? There should be two people. There should be something to exchange. And there should be a way of communicating among these two parties. The last one is no one can be by force, both parties having the freedom to accept or reject. So that both are happy. The conditions for an exchange to address. Condition for an exchange to address. The topic is exchange and relationship. The exchange, you can write down the conditions for an exchange. I can take down this thing, I don't need to say. There should be two parties. There should be something to exchange. There should be two parties. The second one is there should be something to exchange. There should be something to exchange. There should be a communication mode between two parties. There should be a communication mode between two parties. The last one, freedom to accept or reject. Freedom to accept or reject. So that needs for both parties to be happy. Now my next question. What is the difference between the exchange and the transaction? The transaction is very much closer to you, see. Exchange are coming from finance specifically. So you always say it's a transaction. So like the exchange and transaction, and that obviously I gave the answer, it's two different things. Otherwise, I had asked like it is a different thing or the same thing. Now I gave the answer, it's two different. So what's the difference between exchange and transaction? So in the transaction, so always what is in return is the money. But in exchange, I told you like even the barter system is an exchange. I give something in return, you give something else. I'm also happy, you're also happy. So in the exchange, the money is not a must. But in a transaction, money is a must. The return mode. Is that all? In the exchange, one of the condition is both parties should be happy. In the transaction, is it there always? No, it's not there always. Because how many times that we have been trapped because of some the bad market. Just imagine like on your way back, you saw a nice maybe a dress or something, maybe a t-shirt or something. So you just open one and say that it looks fine. You purchase and go. Transaction has happened. So once you go and then once you watch, then realize that in the print, there are some holes inside. Once you wash only, the holes are becoming large. So you are in the victim boat, the seller is in better off. But the transaction happened. So therefore, that's another difference in a transaction. Like the one party can be better off by keeping the other party in the victim. But an exchange, it doesn't happen because both should be agreed. So that's the difference. The difference between the relationship and the transaction. Not relationship, transaction and the exchange. Difference between the exchange and the transaction. transaction. The one difference is in relationship, money is the returning mode. In relationship, not relationship, in transaction, money is the returning mode. But it is not a must. But it is not a must in an exchange. But it is not a must in an exchange. Second difference is in transaction, it is not necessarily both parties are better off. Both parties are better off. But in an exchange, both should be happy. Now I'm moving to the other one, which is the relationship. Now you tell me what you want to run the business. Suppose that you're going to establish your own business next month. What resources you need? What are the resources you are required for you to run your own business from next month onward? I want this, likewise, list it down. The plans for what? The plans belongs to things like the suppliers for what? Yeah, I think your particular product or service. So you could make it if you want. Those things. But the way you're going to do it. Okay. So now, what you have written, So some of you have said that you need a target market, and some you have said that you need capital, what you have written. For you to open up a business the next month, what resources you require? Funds required. You need the money. What else? There should be a place to start, yeah.
We must have a skill about that.
Yes, we have to have the knowledge and the skills about the business, yes. That, you have a place and you have money and then you have a skill, that's enough. Okay. Yes. The way of contacting the customers, okay. Sometimes we might need machines, yes.
Location.
There should be place, location, yeah. Human resources, yes. So now, yeah, so way of like passing a message to the target market. Yeah, that's very true. What you are telling is like if this is your concept poker company, so whenever you want to open up a business, like be a physical product or a service, so you don't have everything with you at the moment, isn't it? So that you want to get those funds. So what do you want then? You want the money, cash you want. Sometimes by using that cash, you want people to run the business. So that's what you have identified in a different form, like skills, the human resources, or like you have identified in your capacity. So we need people to run the business. And also we need machines. Like even if it is a service, we need machines. Because now we in an education institute, they need at least projectors, computers. So they are machines. Even a restaurant, you need machines for cooking purposes, for billing purposes. So that you need machines also. And sometimes even only machines may not be sufficient. You need some raw materials. Even if it is a restaurant, you need rice, you need vegetable, you need all the other things for cooking. And even if it is a photocopy machine, the communication. So where you have so many, you need toners, you need photocopy the papers. So a lot of materials are required. And sometimes like you should know the mechanism. Please, if you for you to run a restaurant, you should know how to cook. So that mechanism that you are hiring as a labor. So that in management we say that 5 M's. Have you learned 5 M's? Man, money, methods, machines, and material. So we need those 5 M's to run the business. So for these 5 M's from where that we are getting? From the supply. So that we need the suppliers. Suppliers for what? 5 M's, and sometimes we need information also. Now just imagine like we get the supply and we convert that into whatever the finished product or service. Then after that, why we are manufacturing or why we are creating a service? Is it for our staff to consume? Then we need a target market, isn't it? So this is for customers. That because what we are manufacturing, whether it's a product or a service, it is not for personal consumption, that is for a customer base. So that we need customers as well. But can we reach those customers only by ourselves? No. We need the intermediaries. isn't it? Say for an example, Milko, the Highland yogurt. So they are like a center as a focal company. For them to run this business, they need machines, they need fresh milk. So they need so many materials, and so people run the business. So then that is converted into a yogurt, and the yogurt needs to be distributed all around the country. That is their customer base. That you can't do it at all. So you need agents, you need wholesalers, you need distributors, you need retailers, and you need roads. Because no matter wholesaler, retailers, distributors are there, if there is no road system, again, you can't reach certain markets. And also you need infrastructure. Like we had a world crisis just a few months ago. Lorries are there, wholesalers, distributors, everyone is there, but there is no way that you are being function because no fuel. So everything was fixed. So that means infrastructure providers also something coming on the intermediate, not just wholesalers and retailers. You need insurers, the people those who are doing the insurance part. So these four, we give a name, core marketing system. Because in absence of any of these parties, marketing won't happen. Because you can't do a miracle unless otherwise you are getting buy-in from these people. And what you are manufacturing is for your customer base. But then again, you can't reach your customer base and satisfy their requirement if you don't get the support from the community. Okay. This is called core marketing system. Write it down. Under relationship, I have a called relationship. The relationship, take it down. The core marketing system, which consists of suppliers, and that is connected to the focal company. XC stands for focal company, even it can be a manufacturer, whoever. This would be mainly like, say, manufacturer. Focal company, XC stands for base company. I stands for intermediaries. So I stands for intermediaries, C stands for customers. Five M's, and sometimes you need information also. So that's why, like I said, information as well. Five M's, you want me to repeat? Man, money, methods, machines, material. You don't need to plan it like, because you think like, okay, if I want to have a business, I should have to have the money. There should be people, that's man. And also I should have to have machine, and to run the machine, I should have to have material. But I don't know the production method, so I should know the method as well. This is called core marketing system. Now you should know like why it is called as core marketing system, because in absence of any of this party, the marketing function won't happen. For Milko to manufacture it, no matter how brilliant that company is, if you don't get the fresh milk, then you can't do it. You have to stop your production. And even though it is making a very good product, if it doesn't have a customer base, then to whom that you are going to do marketing? Customer base. This is also called as value system. That's also called as value system. Core marketing system and the value system. Now listen to me. The one time I have asked in the past papers, like why co-marketing system is called as a value system. I'm going to give that as a question. So now I explain this one. So that listen. Now, why this system is called as a value system? That is what I'm going to explain. Value means what? Finally, what you are going to give for the consumers. Like if this is a yogurt company, that the yogurt what you are going to give for the consumption, that is the value. Because in marketing, we say that we don't give any product or services, we give the value to the final customer. So now just ask from yourself, is that value created only by Milko? Because the supplier is also making a value contribution. Just imagine if Milko order some fresh milk, but the fresh milk supplier mixing up the fresh milk with the water. So no matter how good in the production mechanism, you can't compromise because anyway your material line, your quality. So input is garbage, the output should also be garbage. Or else like the machine supply, you are facing those issues in the corporate. So sometimes like we purchase even A4 sheets. If they are less in quality, so many sheets that we have to waste because it got stuck in the printer. And even education institutes. So people, if they are like ordering the marker pens, if they are not usable, then again they can't provide the value service to the students because whatever the pen doesn't write in a way to the lecturer. So likewise, so all these 5M suppliers, they have a value contribution. If Milko has ordered certain machines, if those machines are always out of order, when one machine is like fixing up and another machine is breakdown. So every day, like instead of manufacturing yogurt, you are dealing with the machines. That because whose fault? Supplier's fault. Because supplier is not making the required value contribution to the final product. And that is the supplier's value contribution. To give the quality material, quality machines, so all what they're supposed to provide to this system. Clear? Is that clear? Now, what is the manufacturer's value contribution to the final product it pulls out of the system? The manufacturer should know that whatever you are getting from the suppliers, you have to convert that into a quality finished product. You should know the production mechanism. You should know how to store that fresh milk before it gets spoiled. It is your fault if it is something went wrong because they send you the good fresh milk, but in the stores, there is no good the inventory management system. So some of the fresh milk that's already outdated. It's expired. So then your value contribution is converting those input into a finished product in a way that the customer wants. That is your value contribution. So then intermediaries. So what is the intermediaries value? Even though the manufacturer is making the product, who is making it available for the customers? The intermediary. Just imagine like in the distribution, you say that since it's a perishable product, you have to keep the temperature in this level. But if the distribution people are not maintaining that standard, when by the time it's going to the Jaffna, it's already maybe not in a consumable mode. Or else you keep your yogurt in the retail shop. The retailer is not checking the expiry date. What would happen is customer come and purchase it and consume. So normally as for Sri Lanka, still our habit is not checking the expiry date before consumption. After consumption, we check it. We eat it and before we put it to the dustbin, the empty cup and we check whether it's expired. And then we got sick because mentally we know that it's already in our tummy, so we can't take it out. So then like if something happened to you, you might stop consuming that brand, but still you go to the same retail shop. Say that if you have some bad experience from a particular yogurt, say from Thailand, So from the next day, you're a little reluctant to take that brand, but you will go nicely, you will go for another brand. Then who is in the victim mode? Is it the retailer? No, the brand no. But whose fault is it? Retailer's fault. Because milk company staff can't send for each and every shop to check the expiry date. That should be done by the retailer. Understand? So that is those people's contribution. And what is the contribution from the customer? If this person doesn't demand it, the entire process will stop. So likewise, this is called as value system because each and every person is making a value contribution to the system. So that is why it's called as a value system. Clear? So therefore, you have to have a very good relationship among these people. So that's why it's discussed as a relationship. So you have to have a very good rapport with your suppliers. So for an example, if you're having a very good rapport with your suppliers, maybe you have the experience. Some suppliers, even just by giving a call, they will send the product. You will put the purchase order later. Because they are not waiting until the invoice is being issued. Because you have already built up the trust. Say that it's okay, I will, because the lorry is going to dispatch in another 1 hour's time. You send me the invoice later on. Now I'm going to send the product to the driver. That is the relationship that you have built. But if you are a stranger and if you are always like a very moody person and you don't treat the suppliers in that way, because for suppliers you are a customer. Understand? So the supplier should not treat you, that is a different story. But you should also know how to get the things done by the supplier, because you should understand it's not just a one-man game. You can't do everything without getting the support from these people. Say that one time you can chase the supplier, then the next time supplier say that okay. So you are a customer, that's true but we have so many other customers. If you don't take my product, it's okay, I can send it to someone else because I don't want to deal with the kind of person like you. Because nowadays the relationship with the people is much more important than the money. So because it makes your life smooth. So otherwise, the person will say that like for every single task that you are doing, you can't keep the evidence. You say that, okay, I order 100 units and then the person is just to make your life miserable, not sending 100, sending 90. So once you come here, you are being chased by your boss because now the production is stopped because only the required quantity is not there. Whose fault? Now you are showing that you have already issued 100. But that person says that, Anya, sorry. So it's a mistake, so I'll send another 10 later on. The later on means now you have already been blamed. Understand? Okay. So the people are doing it sometimes purposefully. That's because you don't know how to deal with the people. So that's why it says that relationship is so important. So you have to get the support from all these parties, from the suppliers, intermediaries, and the customers. Of course, the customers, you have to have a very good rapport, even with the intermediaries. Say that you're the distributor. So you are giving the money, but sometimes the distributor will say that, okay, you are asking that my product is a bit of vegetable product, so I want to have like weekly delivery to Jaffna. Person would say that, no, I can't do weekly delivery, I will do just once in 2 weeks. But the person sometimes actually can do it, but person doesn't want to do it because the way that you are approaching the person. Because you want to like show as you are too demanding because you are giving the money. Because whatever amount that we are giving the money, we can't get the things done by the people. It's a matter of how you are dealing and how you keep the rapport with the person. Now take on the question. Explain with example. Explain with example. Why co-marketing system? Why co-marketing system is called as value system? Why co-marketing system is called as value system? Now I gave the example as well, like the milk company, highway manufacturer. Now you say that So in a question, how we are supposed to answer? First, you have to draw. This is 4-mark system. And the next point, what you have to tell is, in this system, every party is making a value contribution to the final product. That's the second point you have to tell. The first you draw it, and the second you say that each and every party in this system making a value contribution to the final. Then you explain. For an example, supply. The product is yogurt manufacturer, supply. So explaining if fresh milk supply is not providing quality fresh milk, the final product is not going to be quality. So that is the supplier's value contribution. Manufacturer. If the manufacturer is not converting raw material into quality product, the final product again is not in good quality. And that is the manufacturer's value. Then the intermediaries, say for an example, if distributors are not maintaining the required temperature level, then again the final product is not in a consumable platform. So that is a distributor's value contribution. The customers, if customer demand only the entire process flow, that is the customer's value contribution. Since each of these parties are contributing to the final value, it is called as value system. Now put it together. Those things, whatever the language, we put that into bullets. First, you draw the core marketing system. That is a one test. Or else you can simply draw it. Not a big deal. So just draw that these 4 boxes and say that this is called as core marketing system. In the second sentence, you say each member in this system. Each member in the system making a valid contribution to the final value. For an example, making a valid contribution to the final value. For an example, yogurt manufacturing. Because I'm saying that to explain it with an example. The example is yogurt manufacturing. And put a supplier, put a small dash. If fresh milk supplier provides, quality milk. If fresh milk supplier provides quality milk. Manufacturer. Quality milk manufacturer can make a quality product. Manufacturer can make quality product. So it is the supplier's value contribution. It is the supplier's value contribution. Supplier's value contribution. Then the next one is manufacturer. Manufacturer. If manufacturer convert, raw material into a quality product. Raw materials into a quality product. Only customers get the quality product. They convert that into quality product, only customers will get the quality. Customers will get the quality product. It's the manufacturer's value contribution. So for manufacturer, you can write in short like in circle. You don't know that it's manufacturer. That's the manufacturer's value contribution. Then the intermediaries. Distributors, distributors maintain the required temperature. Maintain the required temperature only. Final product is in a condition to consume. Is in a condition to consume. Then the customers. If they demand the product only, they demand the product only. They demand the product only. The entire process would work. Therefore, co-marketing system is called as value system. Therefore, co-marketing system is called as value system. So in the relationship means that, so you should understand that you might be a powerful company, but it doesn't matter how powerful you are, unless otherwise you are getting the support from the suppliers and intermediaries and whoever the party in the business, you can't do a good game. Okay. Now the last one, last co-marketing concept. Market. Market is the last co-marketing concept. Like, what do you mean by a market? So normally, like once it says market, it comes to our mind like a place or space where the buyer and seller get together and do their transaction. For economics, yes. For general sense, yes. But in marketing, market is a different perspective we have to take it because we use a term called market for marketing for our target market. So wherever I'm referring to market, it says set of actual and potential buyers for a particular product. So it's not the one that we typically see in the market where the buyer and seller get together and do their transaction. That is not the term we are using in market. That's the idea which I wanted to tell you. We always refer to market means group of people either currently there or potential for a particular product or a service that is called market. In for the latest specification, we can see 5 types of market. First, I'll explain, then after that, we go for the note. The one type of that market is consumer market. So now, what's the meaning of market? Set of customers, either actual or potential, for a particular product. Then it is being connected with the consumer market. So which means if that set of customers are purchasing a product for consumption purpose, then there belongs to consumer market because consumer is the one who consumes the product. You can guess the meaning from the term itself. Like say for an example, if you have a restaurant, for your restaurant, I'll come and take a lunch break. That is for me to eat. Then I'm part of the consumer market. And I'm going to take the lunch packets for my family to eat. But still I'm a consumer. Because it's either me or my household. They are belongs to consumer market. Types of market. Types of market. The one, consumer market. Consumer markets, set of actual and potential customers. Set of actual and potential customers. Purchase the product. Purchase the product. For the purpose of to purchase the product. For the purpose of consumption. Either individual or household. Either individual or household. Example. One who purchased a lunch for personal consumption. The one who purchased lunch for personal consumption. That is one type of market. There is another one, like, now listen to me. Other two I'm going to explain together and we show them. The other one is we call as business market. Now you know the market means set of actual and potential customers. As per the purpose that they purchase, determine whether they are consumer market or in the business market. So in the business market, what happens? We purchase something for the purpose of converting it to another product. Because the purpose is a business. In the business, what happens? We purchase out of that we make a product. Like say for an example, if you are running a restaurant, you go to the meat shop. So one sort of meat you are purchase and send it to your home. You are consuming. But another set of meat you are purchase for your restaurant. Same person, but you are representing two different markets. The second time your purchase is not for consumption, but for the business. So then you are part of the business market. So why we have to treat that separately? Because the decision-making criteria is simple. If you buy something for you, or quantity. You are very concerned about the quality because you are about your consumption. And sometimes like not that large volume that you are purchasing, but if you are purchasing for your business, so every day you need a large volume of meat. So then certainly you go and bargain discount. You say that, okay, every day, like I want this quantity of meat, can you send it to me? Then you are asking the delivery facility also. Because it's an everyday regular order. It's a matter of just giving a call thing. I want this much, so you have to send it to me. Sometimes you don't give the money at the same point. You say that I will give you, send someone the evening to the shop, I will give you the money. But you can't do it for your consumer person, like consumer, the person who is purchasing for consumption purpose. You can't go to the meat shop and saying that you can't give a call and saying that send me that one, I'll give you the money. That person will say that sorry, so I can't do it. Because you are just a small customer, so even though that person is losing you, it doesn't matter. It's a two different decision-making criteria, so that's why market is we should understand it's two different markets. So that we have to approach it two different ways. And another market is reseller. What does that mean? Again, set of people. Now the purpose is reselling. Reselling means you take it, selling as it is. Who is doing it? Purchasing the product and selling it as it is, not a business. In a business, you are converting that into another product. It's just purchase and selling as it is. Distributors do it, yes. Agent is also doing it, yes. Supermarkets. So they don't convert any product into a different product. So what they are doing is simply purchase from somewhere and send it to another place. So they are looking at only the margin that they get. So then you say that, okay, these are the conditions, but I will give this much commission for you to handle my product. To the agent, distributors, whoever, you are just giving a margin. And it's the same for supermarket. You say that, okay, you give me this space in the supermarket, I'll give you this much. So now we discuss about three types of market: consumer market, business market, and resale market. And there is another one, it's called government market. The government institutes, why we are taking very separately. So sometimes they would be doing businesses, they would be doing retail. But still we take the government institute separately to deal. What would be there? Because their purchasing practice is different. The government institute, if you want to sell something, you can't simply go and speak to the purchasing manager as the way that you are dealing with the business and asking like, may I send you product? They say that no. So you have to wait, first you have to register as a supplier. Even for that registration, you have to wait until we open the registration. And then you register. And then after that, when the requirement comes, we will open the quotation. Then if you are in the registered list, then you can send. And that is also not just matter of one person's decision. So you have to send it to the quotations open for a certain time period. It's a sealed quotation. And then you are appointing a technical committee. And in front of the technical committee, you are opening all the quotations and you go to the lowest quotation, lowest price. That is not the same for other corporate. And sometimes even Satosa doing retailing, but you can't reach Satosa as the way that you are reaching kids. Different practices. So that's why the government we take separately and you have to agree separately because of the differences in the procurement system, purchasing system. And there is another market called the international market, where your business is in Sri Lanka, but the customer base is out of the country. And that people we have to agree separate. Why? There may be retailers, there may be business people, and there may be consumers. But still, we don't take them on board to these three categories. Why we can't treat the international customer as the same as a local customer. It's things like whenever you are purchasing something out of the country, what you are thinking. So whenever you are in the country, what you are thinking. Your decision-making criteria are different. Because now you are out of the country. So there is no way that you can go and touch and feel the product. So you get everything from the virtual platform. So if you are dealing with the international market, make sure that your website needs to be very detailed. Every product specification needs to be very detailed. Like if you go and purchase the dress from the retail shop, you are not worried about the sizes because you can fit on. But international person can't fit on because the product is in the computer. And then you have to give the body measurement. L means this, M means this, S means this. That person will measure the body and see whether which scale on 50. And you have to give like the ones that's been fitted to a modeler and different angle of pictures because the person can't do it. So you have to have more pictures with the different angles. What else? And you are very afraid to give your details, card details to the website. You don't have that problem locally because you can put on delivery cash. But there they might be asking you to put your card details. And then we are afraid we can put it, but don't know whether another hacker will take our details and use it. That you have to be assured, like, so you can pay only this way, and then you have to have a protection. You have to give the assurance. We take only paper, not the certificate. Or else, like, I don't know whether you have experienced some cases where whenever you are putting something, like going through certain steps, it's connected with the bank and the bank should authorize it. And that authorization OTC is coming to you so that you have to use that OTC to the system. Though it is a long process, but it gives the assurance. Understand? And also make sure it is not self-safe. Otherwise, the next time, if you are like, if the computer has gone, like sometimes if you are using somebody else's computer, so with the IP address, if your details are being saved automatically, then that person can log in, and these days the technology is really advanced. So the ethical hackers also there. So there is a certain, the job is being created as ethical hackers. Their job is hacking. So then those people will hack your details and get that and then nicely use it. So then you are very particular on that. So like that is why we can't handle international customers in a way that we are handling local customers, because their warriors are different. So that there are different decision-making criteria. The second one is business market. Business market, set of actual and potential customers. Set of actual and potential customers. Purchase the product. Who purchase the product? For the purpose of manufacturing another product. For the purpose of manufacturing another product. Example. A restaurant owner purchase meat. Restaurant owner purchases meat for the restaurant. In the other market is reseller market. Third one, reseller. And let's write down the normal set of actual and potential factors. The same set of actual and potential factors. Only the purpose is different. Set of actual and potential customers who purchase the product. Actual and potential customers who purchase the product. For the purpose of resale. For the purpose of resale. Example. Tomato. Then the other one is government market. Government market. Collection of government institutes. A collection of government institutes. Purchase. Collection of government institutes who purchase. Can continue like since their procurement practice is different. needs to handle separately. Example, you can take down any government expense, like suppose what the last one is international market. International market, last one. Set of actual and potential customers. Set of actual and potential customers. Who live out of the country. Out of the country. Then we can say, like example, that is for the Daras applicant. So they will basically with the international market. eBay, Daras applicant. So that's all with the international market because so they are the decision making criteria are different. Now, like if I'm going back to that project, I hope you do remember I told you that this is your syllabus where I'm stopping here. So the number one is just understanding the marketplace where you have to be familiar with some fundamental concepts. That is what I finish. But I don't straight away go to the strategies because there are something else in between you should. So some of the points here it says, but I won't discuss in detail because anyway I'm covering those ones. Like I will discuss this one. But this number two is from the number two from that process. Huh? Otherwise, you might be confusing like from where this number two is coming. These ones like it says once we are familiar with the market, then we have to address two questions. If this is the market, what is my customer? And how should I fulfill their requirements? So those are the questions. Here, what customer do I have to serve? And how should I serve that customer? So that you have to develop strategies to answer these two questions. So we discussed throughout the semester, so how these two questions are being addressed. So so in order to select which customer base is yours, so we have something called segmenting, targeting, position. So that is one set of strategies. So that is what here it says that you have to segment market and target those ones, and also position. That I won't discuss here because even if I discuss, you won't understand. Then, like after that, you have to decide like which product do I have to offer, what price do I have to charge, where I should keep my product for people to purchase, how should I promote it. That product price based promotion, that is also I'm discussing as separate topics. Now, under this topic, I'm left with one topic, so which is this one. So I will discuss this one. So it's like this. You want a break or shall I discuss this one? If we have the energy to go for this. Another 10 minutes, is it all right? Then I'm going to another area. So that is the last one in this, the co-marketing skills. Now, like this, if we take the society, in the society, we have two sections, consumption section and the production section. Some people produce, other people are consuming. So this production section should send that into the consumption section. So that is what here it says that we have two sections, production sector and the consumption sector. Okay. But the problem is these two sectors are not matching with each other. Because production people are having different characteristics and different behavior, companies. But the consumers are having something else. But both need each other. So the one who is connecting this disparity, there is a mismatch. This mismatch is then connected by the marketing, mainly the intermediaries. So I'll explain how it happens. Like it says the role of marketing in the society. So what's the role the marketing plays in a general society? How it's connecting the consumption section with the production section. That because it provides sets of utilities. The term utility, like the kind of a benefit. Okay. So one utility is like it's provide the marketeers bring the product in the correct place for customers to purchase. Just imagine some cases production in one place but consumption is another. Right? Production happening in certain places of the country. But everyone who is living in every corner in the country needs rice. But we don't go to that area, Anuradhapura, Colombo, where the rice cultivation is mainly there. None of us is going to go to that place to get the rice for the entire year. Someone is doing that. Someone is marketing institution. That is, they need to place it, keep the product in the correct place for people to buy. Also, it gives some time utility. Again, the rice example. Because rice harvesting, it's not throughout the year. Harvesting is taking place only in a certain time period in the year, but we eat rice every day. There is a mismatch. The manufacturing one time, but consuming in a different time. Who is keeping the stock for us? Not that we are going to take the year requirement and we are going to keep stock at home. Our home, we don't have a space anyway. Those days, our ancient people, they used to do it like that, the very big, the stock, they keep the rice. So then time to time they take it, we boost or something. But now we don't do it because we don't need to. Who's doing it? Rice mills are rice mills. They take it from the farmer. And they issue the rice whenever the market requires. We simply go and take it from the supermarket. That is the time limit. Place and time. We want to get it in whatever the time we want. And another one is form utility. Sometimes the product manufactured in one form, but we want to consume it in a different form. Again, the rice is example. Manufacturing form is not rice, paddy. But we don't want paddy. Because then if you purchase paddy, you want to convert that into rice, it's a nightmare. So who is doing it? Rice mills, rice will do it for us. So then it's the connecting party. So they provide the form utility. And the other one is assortment. Assortment means like tea time assortment, you might have seen like the variety of things in a small quantity. So if we take a manufacturer, the manufacturer manufactures one or limited version of product from each version, huge quantity. Like if you take Unilever, limited version of soap, but from one soap, huge quantity we manufacture. We don't want it that way. We want the variety. So this time I'll try X brand. Next time I will try another brand. The maximum you take 3 pieces of soap at once. Not more than that. Even 3, if it is like the discount or something, otherwise even one by one you can take it. Because you love to be exposed to different varieties. So then in terms of assortment is a mismatch. He is splitting that gap. Who provide the variety for us? This way, supermarkets. So on behalf of us, they keep the variety, we can simply go and purchase it. Otherwise, we have to keep the stocks. And the last one is position utility, where like sometimes the manufacturer wants to give the ownership. We also want to get the ownership. But we are got stuck with we don't have money. Like our dealers. So all the vehicles that they're keeping in the stock, they wish someone come and purchase it. So that they can go for another version. They don't want to see that all the money that they have invested got stuck with the vehicle. They want to pass the ownership. We also wish to get the ownership. But why we are not purchasing? We can't accommodate. We don't have the money. Then who is supporting us? Who is giving the money for us? Purchasing. Basic companies, yes. Banks, financial institutes. So they say that if you want a personal loan, you come and apply, and if you show that you can pay it back, I will give you the money. But I won't come and put a sticker saying that it's been sponsored by the People's Bank or whatever. It's only for the buses. Please put a sticker like that. Almost all the vehicles are being with the sticker. Okay. So then it's the position utility it's been given by the financial institutes. Again, marketing institutions. So likewise, marketing provides these 5 utilities to the society: place utility, time utility, form utility, assortment utility, and position. Position is ownership. So that is the role of marketing in the society. Clear? The role of marketing in the society. Topic is role of marketing in the society. Example, sorry, write it down. Marketing institutions provide following utility. Marketing institutions provide following utilities. Following utilities to the society. One, place utility. Place utility. With a small dash. Making product available. Making product available in the correct place. Making product available in the correct place. Example, rice production in limited places. But consumption all around the country. But consumption all around the country. Rice mills and other intermediaries. Rice mills and other intermediaries. make it available, rice mills and other intermediaries, make it available around the country. So that's why that the owner of Galle is so powerful. It's the system because he can control the entire world. The second one, time limit. Making the product in the correct time. Making the product in the correct time. For consumers. Example, rice harvest in a certain month. But consumed every day. Rice mills and intermediaries. Rice mills and intermediaries. Supply it according to as we demand, they supply. Supply. The next one, form utility. Form utility. Form utility. Making the product in the correct form. Making the product in the correct form. Example, rice manufacturer as rice, but consumed as paddy. Sorry, other way around. The rice manufactured as paddy, but consumed as rice. Rice mills convert paddy into rice. Rice mills convert paddy into rice. Assortment utility. Assortment utility. Making the correct assortment. Making the correct assortment for consumption. Make it the correct assortment for consumption. Example, a manufacturer manufacture only limited product. A manufacturer manufactures only limited products. But in large volume. But consumers need variety of products. Consumers need variety of products in small volume. Supermarkets provide such assortment. Supermarket provides such assortment. The last one, possession, ownership. Possession means ownership. Possession utility. manufacturers wants to give the ownership. Manufacturers wants to give the ownership. And the consumers, the consumers want to get the ownership. But the finance is the bottleneck. But the finance is the bottleneck. Leasing companies and banks facilitate that financial restriction. Example, automobile industry. Automobile industry. So that's the role of marketing in the society. So now after the break, what I'm going to do is, when I'm developing these strategies, there are certain approaches that we have to follow that we'll discuss after the break. Shall we take on 15 minutes break? Only for another 2 more days. If I don't do like kind of 5 days, today is the Thursday. 2 more days, and after that we'll take 20 minutes break. Coming 15 minutes.
Okay.
It's fine. Okay, it's hard to handle it in 15 minutes. I have finished. Now, we are heading to another age. Just imagine, like, sorry, like, I didn't know that you all are waiting without having the lunch. I was waiting until like 1:15 to get the lunch break. The next time I won't do that. I will open it. Because I so that some of you are having the lunch, so then when I realize that you have so the next time I'll make a point in advance. Yeah, I give it to one. So I feel sorry about. But then, like the something like this. Now you want to develop the strategies. This is what we have to do. So you want to develop those strategies. Sometimes, like you look at your market in a certain way, market in a sense, your customer. Okay? You assume that your customers are like this. So if we perform like this, and then we will get more customers. So that is what is called philosophy. The philosophy towards your customer base. We are going to discuss about it. Marketing management wants to design the strategies that will build profitable relationship with the target customers. So that which philosophy should guide the strategy. And also how should we give the way to customers, ourselves and the society. Like it's basically how we look at our customer base. Yeah. Some marketing concepts. Now don't get confused because now I discuss about core marketing concepts. Also I discuss about core marketing system. Now again, this is marketing concept. So that's always it gets confused. But keep in your mind like core marketing concepts. I won't ask it as concepts because that is being taught. You should understand that terminology. Needs means what? Want means what? Demand means what? Market means what? Product means what? You should have to have that foundation, the building blocks to understand the subject. So that is why it's being used. I never ask explain the core marketing concepts at the exam. So that is not to test your knowledge. But core marketing system, there is a possibility because then you show that like these four entities are there in absence of that one marketing won't happen. So this is talking about the philosophy where marketing management orientation. Like how do you look at your marketplace? It's a kind of an assumption. You believe like our people are like this, so that if you do this one, then we can be successful. Something like that. So these ones, starting from production concept, product, selling, marketing, societal marketing, holistic marketing. Okay. So this sequence having a meaning. So that means one which is there in the top, that is the oldest concept. One in the down is the latest concept. Sequence is also matters. But this one, same as other concepts, you can guess the meaning from the term itself. Just by looking at the term, you can guess the meaning. Try to get it in that way. Don't try to memorize. Production concept is something like this. Now you are the owner of the company. But you were thinking, because that is the oldest concept. So you were thinking like this. If I manufacture anything and make it for a cheaper price and widely available, my customer base is going to buy. So therefore, I should give my full potential to get the production efficiency. Because if you get the production efficiency, you can make the per unit cost down. Now, that is the idea behind production. That your focus is about the production. So that is what here it says. Production concepts calls that consumers will favor the product. They like the product that are available and highly affordable. So you can easily affordable and also it's mainly available. Therefore, management should focus on what? You are focused on the production efficiency and also like make it available. It's a distribution efficiency as well. Okay. So where is the management focus is basically you want to make production efficient so that you can give the product for a reasonable price. And also you want to make it distribution in a convenient place for people to buy. Is it clear? Is the concept clear? That is what your assumption about the customers. So now you as a customer, you ask from yourself, am I buying anything? So long as I can reach it easily and so long as it's cheap. Why not? Why you are not buying? Yeah, because if you don't want it, you want it. Not matter like whether it's cheap, sometimes it might be given free of charge. But if it is not used, You won't. That handles keep forgiving. So we say that no, it's free. You cannot be charged. But still we don't say that no, we don't want it. So that is the major criticism against this philosophy. Earlier companies were run with that philosophy, thinking that that would be successful. But then later on we realized people are not like that, even though it is cheap and freely available, they are not going to buy it unless otherwise it should. So that is a major criticism against this one. So you are very narrow focus about the operations. You didn't consider about the customer's record. So that is a major criticism against this. My next question. So that means like we don't care about the quality and everything, whatever available we buy. That's a simple idea. Don't you think that in some instances this work? Whatever available we buy, not the price side. Availability side, you're looking at only the availability. Are there any instances where we are facing this philosophy? Since it's not, we don't have any other alternative. What's available, we have to go with. Some essentially we experience that one with the poor crisis. So with all the medicals, like the people were very cared about the 95. So then once the goal is not there, not even 95, sometimes we might have found 85. Whatever it was came in multiple colors. The one time it's red and another time it's yellow. So we don't care and anyhow we want to get the vehicle and go. So when the demand is so high and the supply is so less, some instances this work only one aspect. Price is also not like cheap because gold prices were not cheap that time. But we might sacrifice all the quality criteria, especially if it is essential product. So we go for whatever way. That also have to keep in mind some conditions. Still this may work. And the other one will be done. The next one is product concept. Now you can guess the meaning. It's a production concept. The focus is production. Product concept focus should be product. So the company is thought like this. If I manufacture very sophisticated product, very creative and very innovative, the business wise, it's very sophisticated. People will buy. That was the idea. Okay. So that means your focus is to just to enhance the product. The product concept calls that the consumers will favor the product that offer most in quality, performance, and innovative features. So therefore, our focus is on making continuous product improvements. Just want to ask, like, is it practical? Is that practical? Now we criticize production concept, kept aside, because it won't happen unless otherwise we don't want it, we will not. How about this? So long as we see a sophisticated product, are we going to go and buy it? That's the simple layman language I can use. Yes, sir. Again, like if we don't want it, we will not. So that has been criticized in this way. So if you forget about the name tag, how does this look like? It says that it's a mouse trap. But if you are just forget about the name tag it's being given, how does it look like? That's sweet. It was sweet. Like, yes. It matter of perception, like it has been. For some others, the one who invented it gets with that. That's true. That's true. That's the story behind it. Okay. You realize that it's true. Otherwise, the first time once I saw it, for me, it looks like a statue. So there is a story behind this because this is the time period where in US, product concepts were in place by the company. They thought that if products sophisticated, people will buy. So in a particular area in US, they had a problem from the funds. So this company that is being governed by the product philosophy, they came up with this mousetrap. It's very sophisticated and it was sold in certain number of minutes. Then after that, people stopped purchasing. Why? Because this was very poor in catching up with mouse. Failed to catch up the mouse, as people expect. Then what was the story that the company realized? People don't want any product. We want solutions to our problem. If you provide the solution, we will go for it. No matter how sophisticated your product, if it doesn't provide the solution to us, we don't want it. Understand? So then they realize, focus only about the company's product can lead to marketing myopia. Another concept. Myopia is always something wrong. So the marketing is to give fulfill customers' requirement. But instead of focusing about the customer's requirement, if you're focusing about the product, that is called marketing myopia, that is product concept is selling. So focus on the product rather than the consumer need. So where it says that people don't want a better mousetrap, but they want better solution to their home problem. So that was a major criticism. No matter how sophisticated the product that you're offering, we don't want it. So long as it provides a solution, we will buy. So it's the main criticism. It's a mistake of paying more attention to the specific product the company offers than to the benefits and experience produced by these products. My next question. So now it is also like you would say that may not be successful. Are there any companies or any product that is still being governed with the product? So I put it in this way. Product is becoming sophisticated, but it really challenges the real use of it. I put it in a. As a product, it's getting sophisticated. But so much the sophistication it has, it challenges the real use of that product. Then, so that means it's the failure to capture the mosquito. Okay. Yeah. Let me give you the example. Other than that, something very close to you. That product is very close to you. Each one of you is selling it. But now, like the smart features are adding. The more the smart features are adding, what it requires. So those days with the button phone, even a one-time charge, you can use for several days. But with the smart features, every day you have to charge. In case if the charging point is loose over the night, the next day it challenges the use because you are being disconnected. So that is still it goes with the product concept where the companies are keep on sophisticating and adding every version they're adding feature. But the problem is power. So it steals the power, but the companies are very tricky enough for that one. They are providing the solution for it. But the problem is we should buy the power. It's not a solution, it's a supplementary product. If you want to use it, you have to have that one also. But we will keep on sophisticating. And also some SMEs in Sri Lanka, they are still going with this. I'll give one scenario. Like, so one time, like we were doing project with SMEs. So in one company, help me figure out, there are so many examples at the stage, only one. So that company is creating nice mat. Okay. So then it was very creative in terms of design and the color matching. It's very unique. So the mat will cost like roughly in Sri Lankan rupees 15,000 to 20,000. And the person, the owner of the business, is saying that person doesn't have a market. So how do you say that it's a product concept? Because you have made your mat very sophisticated in terms of the design. That we have to appreciate. But the problem is Sri Lanka, the target market, you can't match that price level. So the real need is in challenge. Because the person who is sleeping on a mat can't accommodate 15,000, 20,000 to be a little bit of more money and go for a bed. So then they won't opt for that mat. The bed and the mat, so this is 20,000 and the bed itself like 25,000, normal bed you get 50. The best thing is go for the bed instead of sleeping on the mat. Even we also do it, so we can't blame the customers also. So what's the solution that we can propose? It's totally product concept. So what for that business means, what's the solution that we can do? Yes. Export for what? Foreigners for what? Decoration purpose, not for sleeping purpose. Because there you have to find another use of it. The traditional use, you can't pitch the market. So that even a local market, if you target the hotels here, internal decoration or external decoration, it's another use of it. You can use it for decoration purpose, not for the traditional purpose of sleep. So that's why, like, sometimes, like, practically, we say that these concepts are being criticized, these philosophies are being criticized, but still you can see some people are using it. So that as practitioners, we can ask them to stop manufacturing. When it's here, like you're giving police consultation. So you have to give some other avenues. Why don't you are looking at these things so that you can pitch them up? And there's another part, that monk itself, it costs like 1,000, 3,000 rupees. Monk. Because it's made out of a special paint. That's good for the health. Because so much the hot water or the hot drink that you are eating, you are drinking from that, so it's burn the calorie or fat something. Because of the special chemical it is. Again, the person is saying that no market trade because you want to spend 2,000, 3,000 rupees to buy that map, no matter how sophisticated it is. Again, we have to find another market who would look for health. That conscious. So the Middle Eastern market would be ideal market. Because they are very particular on the food item what they are taking. So likewise, it's still this concept is there. It doesn't mean that it's not in practice, but it's in practice. But the problem is it challenges the real use of it. So as a solution, the only thing is we can't ask those people to stop manufacturing, but you have to provide a solution to that problem. The problem to the product, like what the Samsung is. All the smartphone companies are doing. Any concept. So now you know where is the focus. So they thought that if we manufacture anything and keep our full potential for selling and promotion, customers are going to buy. So that is the idea. Selling concepts also the consumers will not buy enough of a firm's products unless it undertakes a large-scale selling and promotion effort. So your focus is more aggressive selling and promotion. More the sales effort, more the promotion effort, you think that the customers will come and purchase. Is that true? You ask from yourself, if I ask is that true, you ask from yourself. If a particular product is always on sale and also like always selling and promoting, are you going to buy? Unless otherwise it's required. If you don't feel like it's required, no matter what the big stories the companies are giving, how much the selling effort and the advertising effort, so we will not convince to buy unless otherwise you feel like it's required. But still some companies do this. Which kind of companies? What kind of companies still do it? Some sales. Yes, like door-to-door sales, like they do it, and yes, some they do it. So that's why there is very clear because we don't sometimes whenever they are coming and we say that no. We don't want people to get like us yet. And also like it's a matter of perception for them as well because some of the robbers also coming and says, so we are friends. So that's one of the reasons. Other than that, life insurance. They do. Why they have to do this? Not the motor insurance. Motor insurance is a legal requirement. Like you go behind the insurance company and get the insurance. Otherwise, police will come behind. So that's why you do it. It's particular on a particular day and getting done. It's a legal requirement. So it's the sale is obvious for motor insurance. But for life insurance, this aggressive selling and promotion required. Why is it? Both are insurance. You're worried about the motor, but you're not worried about the life. That's not good. Your life is more valuable than the vehicle. Why the people are not worried about the life? Needs to have the aggressive selling and promotion. Can't say so. Like normally insurance companies do it. Improve. What's the purpose of life insurance? I think on that. Hard like I can't imagine like any of you are having it. You should feel that you are going to die. You never face it. That's the case. Because like that is you are getting that, otherwise you will be finding the police. But you don't feel like since you are alive, so one day you will die, that won't come to your mind. That's why those people come and say that they are making you afraid. That's the selling approach they use. So they say that this is what, just imagine like what happened to your one hand and one leg. Then it comes to your mind, is that so? Yeah, everything happened, so there is no way that I can do my job. So then you can't stop it. Those people can't stop it. If it happened, that happened. But only thing is, it gives assurance to your dependent. And the way that you are living the same life, they tell you like this is what we will assure you. So that's why it means aggressive selling and promotion. But even that is the case, if you are convinced only, you will go. Otherwise, you are nicely listen to that. I will say that, okay, I will go for and then you never answer the question. So that because you are not convinced, especially in the economic crisis, people are concerned about the spending. Like if you are paying for 20 years and you are getting the money after 20 years time or 10 years time, better you keep that money today instead of waiting for 10 or 20 years because you never know that you are going to leave. And the value for the money is also not the same, the way that inflation goes. I hope one is there from the insurance into class, otherwise you will not receive, you may not die. That's the way that I'm looking at it. So then the other one is the selling concept that production, product and selling, all these three, we have already criticized. Why? What's the major criticism? They didn't consider about whether the customer want this product or not. Customer's requirement had not been taken on board. And when some marketing concept, then the idea comes about the customer. In the marketing concept only, so that three elements are coming on board. No, if you want to succeed in your company, first you have to understand your customer's requirement and give whatever they want better than other companies do. Then you get the profit. The idea came from the marketing concept. The marketing management philosophy calls us achieving organization goals, depends on knowing the needs and wants of the target market and delivering the desired satisfaction better than the competitors do. Where your focus is centered on the customers. So in this case, your job is not to find the right customers for your product, but to find the right product for your customers. So it's two different things. In the first three concepts, production, product, and selling, what they did was they made the product. Now they are finding customers to match the product. So it should be other way around. You start with the customer, you match the product to customer, not the other way around. So then it has these components. You have to first understand your target market and study about their requirements. Fulfill them better than what other competitors do. I'll explain this one why it is called as coordinated marketing. Then you get the profitability. Clear? So that is the same three elements what I said at the beginning. The first element which we faster we do, identify target market, study about that. Fulfill them better than what other competitors do. That is what here it says coordinated marketing. Then you get the profitability. Now let me explain you what is this coordinated marketing is. Also it's called as integrated marketing. Like this. Now for fulfilling understood customers' requirement, what am I supposed to do? We have to offer a product. We have to mark a price for it. We have to keep it in a proper place for people to buy. And we have to promote. That means we have to do product price based promotion. This is a physical product. If we are doing that product price based promotion strategies in a more coordinated manner, then you can fulfill your customer's requirement better than other people. That is what we are. But if you are not integrating these four, if you are challenging one to another, it's a fail. Like this. Say, you are saying that your product is super quality. But to attract more customers, you make the price reasonable. Because price is the mirror of the quality. So if you are saying that the product is super quality but the reasonable price, it's a question for the customers. If the product is that quality, how come the price is this big? Then you won't believe. You question the quality of the product. So that means there should be a match. And sometimes, like I told you what happened with Samsung, that KBC jam, what's the mistake? They get taking their own showroom, it's very cost effective dish. But the product doesn't match with the place. That means no coordination between the product strategy and the place strategy. So that is why the product itself fails. There is no coordination. And sometimes in the promotion you say something, but in reality something happens. But in the promotion, say for an example, in the promotion you say from the Malibu, if you purchase a big cream cracker, so you get a small say chocolate biscuit. So you have wrap it and make it up. So that's what promotion says. But if someone go to the market, you can't find. Right. So you are going to these days because prices are quite high. So that's just by looking at that promotion, you want to find because you have to be only for once. The one is free of charge. It's not available. What might that happen? Reader has separate. Isn't it? So separate bucket, sell it separately. Why? Because you have not given any margin to retail. The retailer doesn't care like what the promotion says. In the distribution strategy, you have missed the commission for the retail. So then your distribution strategy doesn't match with the commission strategy. So then if you go and ask, they say the company, you go and ask from the TV. I have one this. If you want, take it. Otherwise, I don't have any option. That's what happens. Like coordination is not there. Or else, like sometimes in the website, we look at certain products and you order, but the real product is very tiny, especially for toys, perfume, because the picture looks big, especially in the magazines and the websites. Picture looks big, so that we coming to a kind of a perception, the real product also the same big like this. Once you receive it, it's a very tiny car or doll or something like that. So then you feel like it's not good. So what's the mismatch? Product and the production. So you have to show the size specification. This is this much of centimeters. And then you know that this is only this size. You have to scale it and see. It's a matter of providing a bit of more information. That's it. Otherwise, the customer would take it as a cheating. This company has cheated. But if you have included that measurement to the website, then you go to the website and see that it's my mistake that has been already mentioned. So you get the fault to your shop. Otherwise, you keep the fault for company's shop and you are not going to do shopping in that website. Okay. So likewise, that should be a coordination among those marketing strategies. So let's see what's the difference between selling concepts and the marketing concept. So in selling concept, it says inside out. Why it says inside out? Inside out. Starting from the inside and then you are going to the outside. Why it's saying so? Because you initially manufacture whatever, then you are trying to put that product to the customer. But marketing is the way. You start with the market and then you study the market and come inside and have a product in a way match the customer. So that's why here it says that marketing is outside it. Clear? Why the opposite ways it's going? And the starting point is in the selling, factory is the starting point, but in marketing, the market is the starting point. Both cases, it ends with the profit, but in sales, you are very worried about the sales volume. But in marketing, you are not worried about the sales volume, but you want to keep your customer satisfied. So here the focus is product, but in this case, focus is customer. You get the profit through selling and promotion, but in marketing, you get it through the coordinated marketing, or else called as integrated marketing. Clear? Write it down on this chart. Coordinated marketing, integrated marketing. Coordinated marketing. The topic called marketing philosophy. Topic is marketing philosophy. Marketing philosophy, so also it's called as marketing management philosophy. And also it is called as orientation towards the marketplace. It has three terms: marketing philosophies, marketing management philosophies, orientation towards the marketplace. Orientation towards the marketplace. On the list that you simply write down coordinated marketing because so the limited points you did not take. So you will simply go to the Coordinated marketing, also it's called as integrated marketing. Coordinated marketing. This is called 4 pillars of marketing concept. It has 4 pillars: target market, customer needs, coordinated marketing, and profit. 4 pillars of marketing concept: target market, customer needs, coordinated marketing, and profitability. When you can take it down, 4 pillars in marketing concept, then write down these 4. So this coordinated marketing is the one that we all call as integrated marketing. That's the one I'm going to give the note. And then you take separate and you'll give the notes coordinated. In developing marketing strategies, when developing marketing strategies, within bracket, product, amount, price, place, promotion, close bracket. When developing marketing strategies, close bracket. There should be a coordination. There should be a coordination among them. There should be a coordination among them. One should not challenge the other. One should not challenge the other. Example, if product is in high quality, price cannot be reasonable. Price cannot be reasonable. Place strategy should match with the product. Within bracket, you can take down DSI, KVC, jam case. DSI, KVC, jam case. That is what we said. Just examples are fine. That there should be a consistency among all these things. Now, this question. Now, the marketing concept, it's talk about like you have to study the customers and then accordingly, you have to develop the strategies to fulfill their requirements so that you get the profitability. Now, if I ask this question from you, this marketing concept overlook possible conflicts between consumer short-run bonds and consumer long-run welfare. I make it more closer to you. is a firm that satisfies immediate needs and wants of the target market. So that is what the marketing concept is. So you have to fulfill the customer's requirement. If a company is doing that, is it always doing what is best for consumers in the long run? That is my question. If a particular company is fulfilling their customers' immediate needs and wants, does that always ensure that customer base long-run benefit? The question clear? Clear? So now, say for an example, these are orientations. So they are the way that they're looking at their customer base. So the original preconcept, production, totally wrong because you are thinking production is the ideal, so that you are keep on doing the production efficiency and distribution is totally out. So we consider about the customer's requirement. And the next one, product, you keep on sophisticating the product, then you realize that people don't want sophisticated product because they want the solution to their problem. Like even though the food looks very nice, but if you eat it, you can't eat it, you just throw it. Because you can't eat. That means you don't want it, but you eat something eatable. That is your problem. So then, no point of keep on sophisticating the product. And then the next concept came, people say that we have to do a lot of advertising and promotion. That also realized, no, people won't get it unless otherwise expenses that it's required. Then the next concept came, marketing concept. It says that no, first we have to study the customers and fulfill their requirements. That is marketing. Does that guarantee you ensure that customer base long-term benefit? That is what my question. Just think about like some companies who fulfill the customer's immediate requirement in terms of marketing. Yes, correct. So you get more and more customers then because we are fulfilling that requirement better than what competitors do. But does that guarantee that customer base long-term benefit is also being ensured? That is not my question. Yeah, if your brain is deep, this answer from the next brain. So now whether the next brain works. Think about a couple of products and see whether is it true. So this part is marketing concept. That satisfies the immediate customer's requirement. This part is the question, but I want you to think. If a particular company is driven by marketing concept, fulfilling the immediate requirement of the target market, does that company guarantee your customer base future benefit? Like, are you sure that your customers' long-term welfare has been ensured? So the same thing I asked in a different way, but that question is hard to understand. That's why. Conflict between consumer short-run goals and the long-run welfare. The dilemma between these short-run benefit is the one that you are giving in the marketing concept. Does that ensure that your customer base welfare is being guaranteed in the future? That's my question. The way that I'm asking, you can get an answer. Is it always the case? Not always. Why not? You are the one who said no, and then not telling me the instances where it is not. Some instances where the short run fulfillment of the customers does not ensure that customer base long run welfare is being ensured. That means in the long run, the customer will be in the trouble. In trouble. In the short run, you fulfill and they are really happy. But in the long run, they will be in trouble. That part has not been addressed in marketing. Because marketing says that if the customer wants something, give it. Give it. Give it. That's it. So we are like, at the moment they are really happy, but it does not guarantee that keep on smoking for a certain number of years, certainly they will die. It's making their life short. But at the moment, okay, you are fulfilling the requirement. Alcohol, tobacco, drugs, all three. Is that all? There are so many other products. Like even restaurants, like if we take the restaurants, so we love to go for a particular restaurant because it's very easy. So we don't need to like cook, and it's very delicious in terms of the budget also. It's fine because if you are like cooking and so many purchases and the electricity, water, gas, and everything, so you can get it for 1,000 baht or more than that. And also it's very delicious so that you keep on going to the same restaurant. Marketing is that. So then if you are having that one, sometimes those people, they are using some of the preservations. And those kind of things. And then if you keep on consuming those ones, you get a lot of diseases. Diabetes, obesity, cancers, all these things you are inviting. In the quality of the food that you are getting from those restaurants. So it doesn't guarantee that your future benefits is being given by the marketing concept. So that's why the other concept came. So you have to look at the social aspect as well. It's been given an adjective, societal marketing concept. Marketing concept is there, but on top of that, now you have to think about the social benefit. Societal marketing concepts also the company marketing decisions should consider consumers' wants. That is there under market. The company's requirement, that is also there under market. These two are under marketing. It's anyway there because that's what it says. Fulfill customers' requirement. You also should get the profit. Those two is anyway covering in market. But on top of that, to address the societal side, you have to worry about the consumers' long-run interests and the social contribution. So ideally, you have to ensure that your customer base is not in a risk in the future. That is ideal situation. At least, if you can't do it, at least another customer base in the society should be there. So that's why here it says that it's a matter of balancing these three. Society, consumer, and the company. So you have to fulfill the company's requirement, you have to fulfill the customer's requirement. That means you want to satisfy the customer so that you get the profit either today or tomorrow. But at the same time, you have to ensure the social value. If you are combining these two, that is what we call social marketing concept. Clear? So that's why a lot of CSR projects companies do. Like ones are there, and even a lot of water projects, some blood donation camp. Even in you are might be, since you are coming from the corporate, you might get exposed to so many CSR projects. They won't get anything, but only thing is they want to show that I'm not quite sure you can correctly. Sometimes they are putting it and getting the tax benefit as well. Because this much of money that you are already given the benefit to the society. It's a kind of a tax relief also they are asking because it's a CSR budget. So it is having the marketing side as well. But doing those CSR projects, you are not expecting sales increase. But what you are expecting? Developing the brand. Because if you know that, okay, this company is the one which is having this kind of campaign, that brand gets familiar to the customer. So when the customer feel like going for that kind of a product, so normally in our mind we call it as evoke set. Evoke set means like whenever we are going for a selection, only few brands will come to the top of our mind. Maximum 5, less than 5. 2, 3, 4 brands are coming to our top of the mind. Out of those 3, 4 brands, only we are going for a selection. So that's why sometimes like once you have purchased, then it comes to that time it didn't come to my mind. So that is you know that is available, but it is not in the evoke set. Like whenever you want to go for a drink, so that you know that so many brands are available in the market, but you are not thinking that seriously, take all the brands on board and then you are going for a drink. Suddenly, just less than 5 minutes, whatever comes to your mind, you say that okay, let's go for that one. So that's why they are keeping it in the eye-catching level to take that brand top of the mind. So that is why the commercial side on CSR projects where more the visibility. So you keep that brand in the evoke set. So like if you are being exposed to so much of projects from Astra, when you want butter, and then Astra comes to you. So whenever you are going to so many events, if you see Maggie, when it's come to the noodles, Maggie comes to you. So that is the commercial benefit, but on the other side, they want to show that like you are doing some the social welfare task as well, right? That's why the Maliban, they say that if you purchase Maliban, certain portion of money is going to the rescue, the cows would reserve for the dead. And even jet painting. So chat, they say that if you purchase the chat, certain percentage of money goes to the pregnant ladies because the sacrificing their life at the delivery of the baby. So they donate certain things. So likewise, 2 aspects. Either you give the benefit to your customer base, or else there are certain cases where you can't give to your direct customers, so that you have to give benefit to somewhere else. Example, ideally, societal marketing concept is you have to ensure the social well-being of your customers. But certain products from the nature itself, you can't do. So that you give the benefit to someone else. As a nature, you can't give the benefit to your customer. I put it in another way around, like anyway, from your product, you put your customers in a risk that you can't stop. So that you can't ensure their long run benefit. So that in order to practice the societal marketing method, you give the benefit you are taking from your customer, putting your customers in a risk, take it and show it that I'm giving that benefit to some other cross section of the society. Example. Here I'm giving this like product from the nature of the product. If you are consuming that product, yeah, it is. That's given. So that those companies can't do the pure societal marketing. But they are putting their customers in a risk anyway, you darling. But the money what we are taking from you, we will give the benefit to somewhere else. That's right. Please do it. The answer. And I say that you die, it's okay, because you are consuming. The ultimate answer is you will be in a risk. Tobacco. CTC, does that mean that the sales not tobacco corporation can't they practice societal marketing concept? Ideally, they can't. Because they are not corporate citizens. Because from the nature of their business, like all the other alcohol brands, all the tobacco and drugs, so they can't practice it. Ideal societal marketing. Because from the nature of the product, your customer base is risk. But they do that. How CTC is doing. Keeping the human life in a risk, protecting the environment. They do a lot of plantation. So they are taking the money and they say that they are nicely arguing like they pay a huge tax to the government. So then it says that, okay, we are paying this much of tax to the government. Given the condition that the government use that tax to run the government hospital. That indirectly, they are saying that it's paid benefit because if you are not paying the tax, then the government doesn't have the money. So that how we are going to pamper the health sector. That's the argument. Can be accepted. To accept it, what we have to do. We have to reconcile. We have to reconcile. The tax money the government is collecting from the cigarette sales and the money that they are spending for cancer patients. If it is balanced, what the CTC is telling is correct. But if the government is paying more money to rescue the life of the cancer patient, then depending on the how paid the people are getting enter into the picture, and also in the other places where the people are in danger. So then you have to calculate all, because not all the money is from the government. Some private spending also. If you add all these things, this is the money that the tax payment. If tax payment is higher than this, the other. So therefore, the point is, even though companies are using this, they are not using for the real idea of societal marketing. They are using it as again another commercial strategy, just to bring their corporate brand, because they know that either good way or the bad way, if a brand is popular, so that is a popular. So you keep brand popular so that it will be always in the go set. People consider whenever they want to go for a brand selection. The examples you want to take down the examples like societal marketing concept. Examples for societal marketing concept. In terms of campaigns like blood donation campaign. The CKC plantation projects. Some health camps. Management like that. Donation for how. But Sri Lanka, like what the most companies would do it, like they use it as a way of attracting the customers. Like I'm sorry to say that brand, like they mission camp, they have ID. So what they're doing, ID is free. So then they get like all the other testing and everything. And they say that if you want to sort it out, these are connecting to the So using it as a getting the customer as a completely good. That should be tried. It should be for the better of the society. So the last concept It's the holistic marketing concept where we say that whatever we do in a company that matters. We can't exclude anything. So it has 4 components. You have to practice marketing everywhere. Whatever you do, like integrated marketing. That means among the strategies, there should be a coordinator. I already explained this. Relationship marketing. It's not only one-man show. You have so many players in the co-marketing system. So that you have to have a very good rapport with the suppliers, intermediaries, whoever doing business with you. So that is also important. Also, you have to practice internal marketing. That means within the company, you have to practice marketing. What does that mean? Among different levels of the management and also different departments. Like say, for an example, the marketing department person is asking a document from you. You can do it, but you are not doing it. As you are asking a document from the marketing person can say it's a matter of 1 click. Don't you? To show that it's a hard work. So, like Friday around 2 o'clock, you're asking something, the marketing people will say that no, so I'll get it on Monday. It's a matter of clicking one document. So that means no marketing internal. Then everyone is suffering. Because even though the employee from the next department, if they ask something, you should understand the person is asking not for a job, but for that person's work. If possible, do it. The next day, sometimes you will also be in the same boat. You are struggling to do something. Friday afternoon, you want to get something from that person. That person would give the same treatment to you because you didn't do it. Understand? Okay. So therefore, understand like, or even though you are belongs to different departments, whoever coming and dealing with you is your customer, not necessarily the person who is coming from the outside. At least if you can't do it, give the reason. I'm a middle of another work. If I finish it soon, anyhow I'll try to do it. But in case it's not possible, certainly Monday morning, like my travel. So give a reason if it is not possible. Then that person's expectation goes down. Otherwise, promise, sure, before 4 o'clock I'll give it. But after 4 o'clock, you are not even answering the phone. You know that the person is ringing, keep the phone aside. So you just imagine that person was kept the trust with you, but the person is in a struggle. So you should, and then that person won't trust you. The next day also, even if you say yes, until they receive the document, the person won't trust you. So likewise, there should be the treatment, internal side also you have to practice on, even among the levels of management. Like the top management should treat the subordinates as the customers. Customers in a sense, not that what subordinate is asking you are supposed to give. You have to give a reason. Some cases you have to have a control, but with the reason you have to control. If I'm excusing you like this, I have to give the same treatment to others, then I'll be out of control of my staff. So that's why I can't let you go. Because if I say yes to you, and the next day another person will come and ask from me, so then why should I say no to that person? Then you understand, you're also a human being. And sometimes, like when you're dealing with your boss, if you always look at your boss as an enemy, or this person come on, this person come to take everything from you, think from that boss perspective. Boss is also in a position where he wants to perform his job well. That is why he is depending on you. It's good that he is asking something. Otherwise, if boss never call you, it means he doesn't want you. The one day that job will be closed. If you don't need. For the short term, it's good. But in the long run, it shows that I'm not an important person in this company. That's why I'm not being called. So one day, as the way that the companies are chasing out the people and they say that, okay, so would you like to stay at home for a couple of days? You should understand like the point is you should be capable enough to see from the other person's perspective. So try your level best to give the maximum. If not possible, give the reason. Because of this, I can't do it, but I try my level best to do it. So then it keeps expectations down. So that you can keep that person satisfied. Instead of giving the false promise. And the other one is the performance marketing, where you have to look at the performance in different angles. You see that 360 evaluation. Sales is just a one aspect. But you have to look at the lot of other aspects like brand equity, whether you are doing ethical business, so whether you are damaging environment, whether you are doing a legal business, or what is your contribution to the community. All these things, as a 360 evaluation, they say that okay, this company is good. So that's why like some sustainability now they are getting into the financial reporting also. The green reporting index, they are there. That because not from the profit we can make sure that the company is a blue chip company or not. So you have to look at other aspects as well. So if you are combining all these things, that is what we call holistic. Here, okay, we'll stop here, and the next time I will give you the tutorial question. And for you to have a brand equity, just type the value. I'm going to stop the class now. So you simply Google and see the top brands in the world. So you get the value for each brand. So that is what we call brand equity. So every brand is having a value. Like reputation, you feel that you are reporting the financial sector. So that you can get it like this. Every year, same thing. Top 5 brands in the world, so getting the values. Okay, we'll see you next Sunday.